Hello, and welcome to the Venue Coach Blueprint for Owners. I'm Kyle Labar. This podcast is all about helping you fill your wedding venue with more bookings, earn more from each one, and keep your customers happy for a long time. We'll also talk about some tough times and big lessons that I've learned along the way. Let's dive in together and make your venue the best spot for weddings. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Venue Coach. Today I wanted to talk about a very important metric. I've talked about it before, but it is worth repeating, and that is CAC, which is cost to acquire a client. So the reason why this number is so important is that it provides a good indication of how efficient and effective our marketing efforts are in getting new bookings and new clients in the door. So what I mean by the cost, that's going to be anything that you spend on marketing. That can be paid ads, that can be paying a marketing team or an agency, and anything like that is going to be added into the cost. And those are all things that you are doing to get people in the door, right? And so basically you're going to take all of those totals, add them up, and divide it by the number of bookings that you get each month, and that tells you where you are overall on your marketing efforts. Now we even break it down by type, and so we have organic, we have paid Google ads, and we have paid Facebook ads, and so we can break it out based on those and get an even clearer picture for which acquisition channel is the most efficient, which one is performing the best, and where we can redeploy dollars and readjust so that we can maximize our dollars and get the most out of them as we can. So to give you a good example, just talking about ad spend by itself versus organic. So I was analyzing our tours and where they came from and bookings and how those basically I look at the tours and then the bookings and where they come from. So the source. So first of all, if you're not tracking, you need to be tracking all of this information. If you are not tracking it, then you don't care what happens. And then once you're tracking it, you're able to see, okay, this is how this is going. So back to my example. We have Google ads, we have Facebook ads, and we have organic. So when I look at the Google ads, which is we're spending, I think, probably $500 a month on that, and we were able to get a number of tours from it. Actually, it came out to be that the cost per tour was about $60 on Google ads. And our cost per tour on Facebook ads was 4 times higher, $240 to get one tour on Facebook. So when I look at that, now I know that Google is actually a higher intent ad platform. So while Facebook is able to find people that could be interested, that you want to make aware of you, Facebook isn't finding people who are already searching for wedding venues in their area. But Google is. They are presenting it to people that are typing in that search. If they search wedding venue or wedding venues and you have that as one of the keywords that you're targeting in your ads, then you're going to show up when they are searching for it. So that's higher intent. Versus Facebook, they're just scrolling and they happen to see an ad for your beautiful venue and, oh, I'm interested. Oh, I happen to be engaged. I'm going to click on it and let me just find out some more information, right? So you're taking somebody who isn't looking for you versus somebody who is looking for you. And I say you, I don't mean you specifically, but I mean someone like you. Like they're just looking for venues versus somebody who is not looking for venues. Sometimes on Facebook, with your ads, though, they will find people that are looking and are unaware of you, and so those are higher intent. But Google is by far a higher intent ad platform. So that is good for me to see. I can say, okay, well, if my marketing budget is this, and I know how many dollars I need to get a tour, then let's put in the amount of dollars that I need to get the tours that I want. That's called scaling your ads. So now I can say, okay, if it costs me $60 to get a tour on Google, and it costs me $240 to get a tour on Facebook, then I would be better off. Like, it's still like Facebook, there's still value there because we want to reach wider audiences and have multiple channels of acquisition. But I'm not going to put more money into Facebook. If I'm going to put more money in, I'm going to put it into Google because I know that I can get tours for $60 a pop. So now if I want to get 10 tours, and I haven't even talked about our organic. So organic, that's like your SEO, and that's word of mouth, and that's all those other things. Now, if you're doing SEO yourself, then it's just your time. If you're hiring an agency to do it, then it's whatever you're paying them to do that, right? So if you pay $500 a month and you get 10 organic tours, then it's cost you $50 a tour to do that, which is really great. And then from there you can say, okay, well, let's just keep doing the SEO in this example, and then let's put in. So we're getting 10 tours from SEO, we're getting 1 tour or 2 tours from Facebook, and we're getting 5 tours from Google, and we know all the costs of each. So if I want to get more tours from Google Ads, then I will spend more dollars. And so if I know that it costs me $60 and I want to get 10, then that's $600. I'm breaking this down. I know it's simple math, but it's just to bear the example here. So if I want to get 20 tours from Google and whatever I get from the others, then I'm going to spend $1,200. And that's really how the math breaks down. But you can't make that decision if you don't know what those numbers are. And so this is just the effectiveness of the tour. That's step 1. The next step is, are they showing up? And how good are you at closing? So if you have a 30% close rate, which is below the bar, it's not that great, it's actually pretty bad, then you're going to get, if you get 20 tours, you spend $1,200, and let's say 80% show up, so that's 4 that don't show. And then you have 16 that show up, and you get 30% of those to book. You're booking about 5. So for $1,200, you're going to book 5. Now you take that $1,200 and you divide by 5, and that's $240 per booking. That's your cost to acquire the client. Now that's assuming just ad spend. So let's say you spent the $1,200 there. You spent another $500 on Facebook ads, and you're spending $1,000 a month with an agency to do SEO and run the ads. And of those, you're able to get, let's just say, 30 tours. So you have $2,700 in cost. You get 30 tours. 80% don't show. That's 24, and you get a 30% close rate. You're going to book 7. So you take $2,700 divided by 7. And that's $385 per client on your CAC. So your CAC is $385 total dollars spent to acquire that client. Now we go off of anything under 500 is gravy. Think about it. You put in $500 per client, and they pay you. The average venue is charging, I think, net profit you're making, or after cost to fulfill, you're making probably around $5,000. So that's a 10-to-1. You put $500 in, you get $5,000 back. You're making, for every $1 in, you get $10 out, and that's really good. But we can make it better. What if your closing percentage was actually like 50%? Then your CAC would go down. So in that example, you have 24 tours, but you're closing 50% of them. You get 12. Now you have 12, you have $2,700 divided by 12 because your cost didn't change. So you go from $385 to get a client down to $225. So that's almost a 50% reduction, right? And by just increasing your closing percentage. So all those things can impact CAC. So the biggest impact factors to CAC. Like obviously you spend the money and you need to know where the most efficient source of leads and tours are, right? So $240 per tour on Facebook versus $60 per tour on Google, right? So now I know where to put more dollars efficiently on the ad side, on that spending, right? So where am I being efficient or inefficient on my spending? So that's step one. Next, it's am I being efficient on getting people in the door? Like they sign up for the tour, but are you getting a ton of no-shows? Maybe you need to fix that. If you're only getting like 40-50% of your tours to show, then that should be looked at. We see it typically an average of 80% show. So how do you do that? Well, that's automations, that's follow-ups, that's reminders, that sort of thing. And then from there, that impacts your CAC, right? If you have 30 tours but only 50% show, that's 15. So now you only have 15 selling opportunities. And then combine that with a 30% closing rate, you're only going to get 4 or 5. But if you have a 50%, you're going to get 7 or 8. So that's a huge difference. So then the last thing is how well you sell. So those are the 3 levers that you can pull to get more out of your ad dollars. First, am I spending my dollars in the most effective place? Second, am I getting those dollars good use by getting people in the door? Like it's cool that they sign up, but are they actually showing up? Then the third lever is how well do I close the deal? And so you can pull all of those levers, but if you are not tracking them, then you don't know which one is the problem child. You don't know which one to adjust and which one to track, or not track, but which one to fix, or which one is the bottleneck in the whole process. If your ads are super efficient, you're getting $20 tours, but only 10% of them show up, then it's actually not $20 per tour. It's because we care about tour per show. You could actually just say it's $200 per tour, right? Of ones that actually show, and so you can break it down even further by that. So I wanted to share this because a lot of venue owners don't know these numbers and don't know how important they are. But we base our decisions based off of facts and data, and that enables us to make smart decisions for the business so that we can be as profitable as we can while being as efficient as we can. So we care about efficiency and making proper decisions for the business so that we can move forward and actually have something grounded in fact and not just because we feel that it could be whatever it is. So anyways, I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any more questions about it, please let me know. I'm happy to explain it further, or I can take a look at what you guys have going on. I'm happy to dive into that. Anyways, stay tuned for the next one, and I'll see you there.